yes, we started discussing about Java constructor and a lot of concepts we had covered, like a lot of points. For example, yes, we know that constructor is used to initialize an object. Second point, like constructor is used to provide the values for the instance variables. That second point up to now we did not cover, that we are going to cover in our tomorrow session. Kindly please wait for this. And yes, we know what is the syntax of a method. We know what is the syntax of a constructor. When you're speaking about rules for writing a constructor, mainly we need to follow two rules. Two rules. First rule. What is the first rule? Constructor name should be same as class name. Second one is constructor should not be having any return type. And when you're speaking about types of constructors, just like methods, constructors are also predefined constructors and user-defined constructors. Again, these are actually classified into two types. Those are parameterized constructors and non-parameterized constructors. And yes, we know how to call a Java constructor. Like a Java constructor will be called simultaneously whenever we are creating an object. So after that, like yesterday, we had given you a small task also, and you have already completed that. Okay. Now, guys, in constructor, we are supposed to remember some very, very important key points. So today we are going to discuss those key points first. Is that clear? Now, please keep your citing as key points in Java constructor. Key points in Java constructor. Constructor name should be same as class name. Note down, please note it down. Constructor name should be same as class name. Constructor name should be same as class name. Point number 2. Constructor should not be having any return type. Constructor should not be having any return type. Okay. Now, before going to the third point, I just want to show you some code. Please answer the question. Okay. This is class A. I'm having a method, void method 1. Guys, listen. I'm having a method. Now, system.out.println, simply I'm just trying to write method 1 called. Okay. Now, let me go to my main method. Okay. Now, guys, I want you to please concentrate. Very, very, very important point, guys. Please concentrate. For this point, you will be able to answer the question. So please concentrate. New class A, all right, equal to AOBJ belongs to class A. Okay. Now, my system is fast today, right? I don't know. Literally, I don't know what happened. Yesterday it's slow, right now it's fast. Anyways, okay. AOBJ dot method 2. AOBJ dot method 2. Now, if I remove line number 12 from the comment, wait. If I remove line number 12 from the comment, yes, we will be getting an error. But I want you to check whether do you know the reason why we will be getting an error or not. Okay, we will be getting an error, but I want you to tell me the reason why we are getting an error. Okay. You. Sit down. Tell me. मेरे को तेलुगु नहीं आता, इंग्लिश में बोलो. Tell me. So method 2 is not present in class A. That's the reason we are getting an error. Am I right? Come on. Perfect. Okay. Now let me just try to do one more small I'm gonna take one more small class, class B. Okay, let me remove this. And now here, I'm going to write void method 2, void method 2, and system.out.println. Let me go like class B method call, class B method call. Let me go to my main method. Let me go to my main method. Now inside my main method, new class A, sorry, new class B, and here I'm going with the 10 equal to BOBJ belongs to class B, okay, class B, and now BOBJ dot method 2 like this. Now this is class A and this is class B. Eyes on the board, right? Body here, mind absent. Listen. Okay, now class A. This is class A. In class A, at line number 12, we are getting an error. Why we are getting an error? Sir, method 2 is not present in our program. That's the reason we are getting an error. Okay. Now, if I remove line number 11 from the comment, am I going to get any error? Yes or no? Yes or no? Let me remove that from the comment, and yeah, line number 12 also from the comment. Now, at line number 11, we are getting an error. Now, tell me the reason why. I'm sorry, what? Okay, sir, at line number 11, you are trying to pass a parameter for constructor. Am I right or wrong? In other words, in simple words, sir, you are trying to call a parameterizer constructor which is not present in our program. Am I right or wrong? That's the reason you are getting an error at line number 11. Okay. Now answer my question. In class A, how many constructors I have written? Did you understand my question? In class A, did I write any constructor? Did I write a parameterized constructor? Did I write a non-parameterized constructor? Respond. Am I getting any error here? Why? Question mark. Hang on. Now, in class B, did I write a parameterized constructor? Respond. Did I write a non-parameterized constructor? Do you know the reason why we are getting an error here? Why? Why? Because there is no there is no parameterizer constructor in our program. Am I right or wrong? Now my question is, here we are getting an error, and why here we are not getting any error? That's the question. Did you understand the question right now? Let me remove these methods also. I don't want to call these methods also. Let me just try to keep these two lines. That's the question. Here I'm not getting any error, and here I'm getting an error. Why? Okay. Okay. Guys, please listen to this. Please listen to this. In a Java program, if you are not writing any constructors, one more time, in a Java program, if you are not writing any constructors means either parameterized constructor or non-parameterized constructor, by default, compiler is going to provide your program with a default constructor. One more time. In a Java program, please listen. In a Java program, if we are not writing any constructors, by default, Java compiler is going to provide our program with a default constructor. Default constructor is exactly same like non-parameterized constructor. Default constructor is exactly same like non-parameterized constructor. So from this moment onwards, I am going to address non-parameterized constructor also as a default constructor. Am I clear with this? Now answer my question. In a program, in a Java program, I have written a parameterized constructor. I have written a parameterized constructor. Will compiler provide my program with a default constructor? Yes or no? For example, let me just try to. If I remove this 10, am I going to get any error? Let me just try to remove this, and now I'm not getting any error. Sir, why we are not getting any error? Why? Because in our program, I did not wrote any constructors. So by default, Java compiler is going to provide my program with a default constructor. Okay. For example, I'll do one thing. Class B, and here int x. Int x. Am I getting an error at line number 15? Why? Why I am getting an error at line number 15? Why? Because in our program, already we have written a constructor. If you write a constructor, compiler will not provide any default constructor. Am I clear with this point? Please respond. Okay. Now, for example, I'm going to remove this. Now tell me, in my program, is there a default constructor? In my program, is there a default constructor? Yes or no? Yes, provided by the programmer. Guys, are you understanding the point here? See, guys, the point is very, very simple here. Default constructor and non-parameterized constructor, both are exactly same. So right now, from this moment onwards, could you please tell me how many types of constructors are there? How many types of constructors are there? One more time. How many types of constructors are there? Two types. What are those? Parameterized constructor and default constructor. Am I clear with this? From this moment onwards, please try to address non-parameterized constructor also as a default constructor. Now, please answer my question. How many types of constructors are there? Two types. First one, parameterized constructor. Second one, perfect. One last time. Please tell me how many types of constructors are there? Two types. First one, parameterized constructor. Second one. Now, this default constructor will be available in our program in two situations. First one is will be provided by the compiler. Second one is will be provided by the programmer. Now, my question is, when compiler will be providing our program with a default constructor? When? If you are not writing any constructor in your program, then and then only compiler will be providing our program with a default constructor. Am I clear with this? Now answer my question. In class A, is default constructor is available or not? Available or not? Provided by the compiler. In class B, default constructor is available or not? Provided by the perfect. Am I clear with this? So for one last time, online students, I believe you are following, guys. Online students, kindly please respond. Guys, you need to respond, guys. Seriously, very, very important point. Okay. One more time, guys. One more time. Please listen. Guys, listen. A Java compiler will be providing your program with a default constructor. Okay. When? The question is when. When Java compiler will be providing our program with a default constructor? When? If you are not writing any constructors in your program. Okay, you're saying any constructors. How many types of constructors are there? What are those? Parameterized constructor and default constructor. Am I clear with this? Now the point is, guys, listen. Please listen. Please listen. Point. Listen. We need to initialize the class object with the available constructors present in our program. One more time. We need to initialize a class object with the available constructors in our program. For example, if I'm trying to call, okay, now please tell me, if I'm trying to call aobj.method2, am I going to get an error or not? Respond. Why will be getting an error? Method 2 is not present in our program. Exactly like that. For example, here, if I'm trying to pass a value, am I going to get an error? Why we are getting an error? Parameterizer constructor is not present in our program. Okay, which constructor is present in our program? I believe it's clear, guys. Okay, now I'll do one thing. For example, let me come back to my class A. Okay, now class A, and here I'm going with int x, and just simply system.out.println x and class A, and here I'm just trying to go with like a string s, and here also system.out.println s. Now let me go to my main method. Now I'm going to write new class A like this. Eyes on the board. I'm going to write like this. New class A. Tell me, am I going to get any error right now? Respond. Why? Why we will be getting an error? Why? How many constructors are available in our program? What are those? Both are parameterizer constructor. So whenever you are trying to create an object, you need to use either this constructor or second constructor. You are using a constructor which is not present in our program. That's the reason we are getting an error. Am I clear with this? For example, let me just try to, okay, let me go to my class B here. Class B. Okay. Now let me go to my main method, main method. Now inside my main method, if I'm trying to write new class B like this, am I going to get any error? Respond. Why? Why? See, I don't have any constructor in my program, so I should be getting an error. No, I'm not getting an error. Why I'm not getting any error? As there is no constructor present in our program, by default, compiler will be providing our program with a default constructor. Am I clear with the point here, guys? Online students, kindly please respond. Online students, kindly please respond. Am I clear with the point? Perfect. Good. Now, please note on the third point for me. Third point. We need to initialize. We need to initialize a class object. We need to initialize a class object with the available constructors. We need to initialize a class object with the available constructors present in our program. With the available constructors present in our program. Next point. In a Java program, if we are not writing any constructors, in a Java program, if we are not writing any constructors, that is either parameterized constructor or either parameterized constructor or non-parameterized constructor, comma, then Java compiler is going to provide, then Java compiler is going to provide our program with a, then Java compiler is going to provide our program with a, could you please complete the sentence? With a, guys, come on, read the statement, read the point completely one more time. Read the point completely one more time. Please give me the book. Book. What's the point here? In a Java program, if we are not writing any constructors, that is either parameterized or non-parameterized constructor, then Java compiler is going to provide our program with a, please write the point, with a default constructor. With a default constructor. Next point. Default constructor is same like non-parameterized constructor. Default constructor is same like non-parameterized constructor. And kindly, I want you to please write like this, guys. Please write like this. Default constructor provided by the compiler, non-parameterized constructor provided by the programmer. Please. Default constructor provided by the compiler, non-parameterized constructor provided by the programmer. Provided by the programmer. Okay. Now, let me remove this. Now, class A. Now, I'm just trying to write class A, system.out.println, simply hi, and class A. And here I'm going with the int x, and here system.out.println hello. Just two normal constructors. Okay. Guys, listen. Okay. Now, please tell me, what is the syntax of a constructor? Access modifier, class name, parenthesis, open braces and close brace. Now, what is the access modifier for this constructor? Default. Can I make it as public? Fine, no problem. Can I make it as private? Why? We can write. We can write, no problem. Can I make it as protected? Yes or no? We can use, guys, for a Java constructor, we can use all the four access modifiers. We can declare a constructor as public. We can declare a constructor as private. We can declare a constructor as protected. And yes, of course, we can declare a constructor as a default. Not at all a trouble. Am I clear with this? Okay. Now, let me remove this. Let me remove this. Okay. Let me go to my main method. Now, answer my question. Is default constructor available in my program? Yes or no? Yes or no? New class A like this. So default constructor is available in my program. Given by the what is its access modifier? How do you know? Did you understand my question? For example, if I am writing a default constructor, then if I ask you this question, what is the access modifier for my default constructor? What's your answer? You'll say default. Okay, I'll make it as public. Now, what's your answer? Public. Now, my question is, I will not write a default constructor. Now, default constructor is provided to my program by the compiler. What is the access modifier for the default constructor, which is provided by the compiler? That is my question. Did you understand my question? Yes? No? Yes? Tell me. That's the question. All right. Guys, please listen to my statement. For the default constructor provided by the programmer, we can use all the 4 access modifiers. Means if we are giving a default constructor, I repeat, if we are giving a default constructor, we can use all the 4 access modifiers. Not only default constructor. If programmer is writing a constructor, it may be a default constructor or else a parameterized constructor. Are you observing? Are you understanding the point here? If programmer is writing a constructor, we can use all the 4 access modifiers. If the default constructor is given by the compiler, it will be having access modifier same as class. Whatever your class is having, the same access modifier will be appended to the default constructor which is given by the compiler. Now answer my question. Is default constructor available in my program? Yes or no? Provided by the what is the access modifier for the default constructor which is given by the compiler? Public. How do you know? Class is public. Now, actually, this is not the question which I want to ask you. This is the question. Let me ask you the question. If programmer is writing a default constructor, how many access modifiers we can use? All the 4. If compiler is providing a default constructor, how many access modifiers it can provide? How many it can provide? 2. What are those? Public and why? How many access modifiers we can use for a class? Only 2. What are those? Public and default. You already know that like a Java class can never be declared as private or protected. So obviously there is a chance of only 2. What are those? Public and default. I believe it's clear, guys, for everyone. Please respond. Okay. All right. All right. Okay. Now we'll do one thing. Let me just try to have a normal method. Void method1 system.out.println, and here Java is. Tell me. AWS, awesome. Okay. Now, guys, okay, just let me go to my main method in class B. Main method in class B. And now I want to call method1. Listen. I want to call method1, which is present in class A, in class B. Can I do it or not? Please help me with the code. You tell me the code, I'll write the code. New class A dot method1. Am I right or wrong? Okay, we'll do one thing. Just let me try to have a reference here, please. Equal to AOBJ belongs to, and simply AOBJ dot method1. Okay, now just let me try to execute my program. Hang on, Windows, show view console. Okay, and just let me try to execute my program right now. Right click, run as Java application, and yes, here I'll be getting my output, that is Java is awesome. Okay, fine. Okay, now I'll do one thing. Let me just try to have one more method. Void method2. Void method2. Now system.out.println, Hello, WORLD. Hello world. Okay. Now, can I call this method 2 also from class B? Yes or no? Okay. AOBJ dot method 2. Okay. Let me try to execute. Right click, run as Java application, and this is my output. This is my output. Okay. Now, last. Yes. Last person. Okay. I have a question for you, buddy. I don't want method 1 to be accessed by class B. Means what I want, last person, not for you, last person. This question, yeah. What is my requirement? I don't want to provide access for this method 1 in class B. Do you have any thoughts? Any ideas? I want to restrict calling method 1 in class B. Any ideas? Come on, just louder, please. No, I don't want to call method 1. Means if class B is calling method 1, I should be getting an error. If class B is trying to access method 1, I should be getting an error. That is my requirement. Means I want to restrict method 1. Any ideas? Come on, guys, please tell me any ideas. Sir, you can make the method as, we can make the method as private. What is the scope of private access modifier? Only within the class. For example, please check this. I'm simply making it as VRI private, and just let me try to save it. And yeah, I'm actually not getting any error. I'm getting an error. I'm getting an error, like my class B is unable to access my method 1. Yes, successfully done. Sir, I don't want my method 2 also to be accessed by class B. Okay, make this also as a private. So immediately I'll be getting an error. If there are 100 methods, if you want to restrict all those 100 methods, then are you going to write all those 100 methods as private? Come on, that does not make any sense. Are you understanding the point here, guys? Respond. Now, I'll do one thing. Let me remove this. Okay. Sir, but if you are removing this, we are not getting any error. Yeah, hang on. I'm trying to write a constructor, which is given by the programmer. It's a default constructor. Okay, system.out.println class A default constructor. It's a default constructor. Now, please answer my question. If I execute my program right now, what is my first output? Answer. Class A default constructor. After that, Java is awesome. And then, however, okay, right click, run as Java application, and we are getting our output like this. Sir, still our requirement is not done. What is our requirement? Sir, our requirement is class B should not be able to access method 1 and method 2. Okay, then do one thing. Make the constructor as private. Make the constructor as private. Now, am I getting an error at line number 7? Why we are getting an error at line number 7? Okay, you are using new keyword. What is the use of new keyword? Creating an object. Why you are creating an object in class B? Tell me. Why you are trying to create an object in class B? To call method 1 and method. I'm restricting that object creation. Without creating an object, how can you call a method? Did you understand my point here, guys? See, here at line number 7, I'm getting an error. Why I'm getting an error? Okay, we are using new keyword, fine. And we are trying to initialize an object with the constructor which is present in my class A. But that constructor is declared as a private. What is the scope of private access modifier? Only within the class. So outside the class, you cannot use a constructor. Without using a constructor, how can you create an object? Without an object, how can you call these methods? I believe you understand the point here. So the question, interview question is very, very simple. Can we make a constructor as private? Yes or no? Yes or no? What is the use of a private constructor? To restrict object creation in other classes. Am I clear with this? Okay, for example, I'll do one thing. Just let me try to go like class A, and here I'm going with simply I'll go with the int x, and here system.out.println, and simply I'm trying to write hi. Now my question is, I want to call method 1 and method 2 from class B. Don't immediately answer. Please don't immediately answer. I want to call method 1 and method 2 from class B. Is it possible or not? Before answering this question, please read the third key point. After syntax, you have written a key point. Please read that key point. Read it. What is the point? Tell me the first point. Tell me the starting. We need to initialize a class object with the available constructors present in our program. Okay. Now my question is, can I call method 1 and method 2 from class B? Yes or no? Yes or no? So, but we are having this private constructor. We are having a private constructor. So how can you call? Sir, default constructor is private, but we are having a parameterized constructor. So I'll do one thing. This will generate an error. Now, what I'm going to do, new class A equal to AOBJ belongs to class A, and yes, I'll be able to execute my program. Did you understand the point here? So if you want to restrict calling your class methods in other classes, you need to make all your class constructors as a private. All your class constructors. Sir, but you said that making all methods private is not a good programming practice. Yes, in a Java program, if you are having 50 methods, you will be having nearly 1 to 2 constructors. That's it. Mostly what you will write? Methods. Yes, are you understanding the point here? Respond. Please continue with the points. How many points you have written? Point number 6. Point number 6. The access modifier for the default constructor, the access modifier for the default constructor provided by the compiler, the access modifier for the default constructor provided by the compiler will be same as the access modifier of class. Will be same as the access modifier of class. Inside the braces, if the class is public, inside the braces, if the class is public, then constructor is also public. If the class is public, then constructor is also public. Or if the class is default, then constructor is also, you need to complete my sentence here. then constructor is also default. Next point. Point number 7. If we declare a constructor as private, if we declare a constructor as private, then we can restrict the, if we declare a constructor as private, then we can restrict the object creation. We can restrict the object creation of our class, object creation of our class in other classes. In other classes. Okay. Now, guys, please answer my question. Okay. Just let me try to remove this and I'm gonna keep it like this. Let me just try to save it. Okay. Now, inside a constructor, can I write a return statement like this? Seriously, think about the statement. Don't wait for my answer. I want you to think. You can do this. Inside a constructor, can I write a return statement? I'm not asking return type. I'm asking return statement. Come on, please think about it. Yes or no? Okay, let me ask this question for one more time. Inside a void method, can I write a return statement? Are you sure? Let me try to remove this. Yeah, we'll not be getting any error. Why? Because we can write a return statement, but we should not return anything. Now I'm asking the same question. Inside a constructor, can I write a return statement? Yes or no? 100% yes. Inside a constructor also, we can write a return statement, but we should not return anything like any value. I believe it's clear, guys, for everyone. Please note on the same point. Please note on the same point. Inside a constructor, sorry, just like void methods, just like void methods, inside a constructor also, just like void methods, inside a constructor also, we can write a, inside a constructor also, we can write a return statement. We can write a return statement without returning anything. We can write a return statement without returning anything. Dot. Now, last point, guys, I want you to kindly please write that last 9th point, but you will be, no, we will be discussing about that 9th point whenever we are dealing with OOPS concepts. But right now, I want you to kindly please write it. That is, constructor overloading is possible. Constructor overriding is not possible. Just right now, try to write it. And we are going to discuss about these 2 points whenever we are dealing with OOPS concepts. Please. Constructor overloading is possible. Constructor overriding is not possible. Please. So what is this overloading and overriding? This is actually polymorphism. Polymorphism. Basically, there are 2 types of polymorphisms are there. Compile time polymorphism and runtime polymorphism. So basically, what do you mean by polymorphism? Polymorphism means it is an ability to perform multiple tasks with the same identity. For example, just take this movie, Vikram movie, Aparchit movie is there. Apachittu movie is there. Yes, character is one, but three different situations. I mean, three different personalities. Or else take this movie Chandramukhi also. Hey, why I'm remembering my wife? Anyways, do you understand the concept here? Polymorphism. Polymorphism means method name will be same. Method name will be same, but it is going to perform different situations. So that we are going to discuss whenever we are dealing with OOPS concepts. Kindly please wait for it. Am I clear with this, guys? Respond now. Right now, I want to give you a small question. The question is, I want you to write at least minimum 3 to 4 differences between constructor and a method. Now, start. The question is, what is the difference between constructor and a method? Use your own statements. Try to create some differences. For example, if you want to explain this to others, how you will say, how you are going to differentiate between a constructor and a method. Please. Just 3 to 4 differences between a constructor and a method. Don't copy the differences. Try to write your own differences. You already know about method. You already know about constructor. So just try to write your own differences. Just 4 differences are enough for me. 4. Write your own differences. Please don't depend. Two more minutes. One more minute. And time up. How many you got? How many you got? Like at least 3? Please raise your hands. How many have written these differences? 3 differences. Raise your hands. Very good. Very good. Down. Down. That is nice. Guys, I already uploaded the notes right now. Just now I uploaded the notes in the Google Classroom also. In that notes, differences are there. Difference between a constructor and a method. But don't directly see the notes. At least 4 points I want you to write by your own. Differences, whenever you are getting this question like differences, try to create your own differences basing on the concepts which you already know. For example, syntax of a method, syntax of a constructor. One difference. Method name may or may not be same as class name, but constructor 100% it should be having same name as class name. 100% method should be having a return type. Constructor should not be having any return type. A constructor will be called whenever we are trying to create an object. Method, we need to call a method with the help of an object. So just try to create your own differences. Am I clear with that? Now, please have this program for me. Please start with class A. Please have this program. After this, I want to give you a task. I want you to be fast. Be fast. Be fast. Use shortcuts. Please use shortcuts. Completed class A. Please write. Please write. Now, class B. And this is the output. Not done. Then why you are doubtfully raising like this? Please raise confidently. Please. Guys, 30 more seconds. 30 more seconds, please. Done. Okay, class B, please. And I think I already said you that September 2nd I'll be on leave, right? Completed? Okay, task. Right. If I say complete, just raise your hands, guys. If you raise, then I'll be able to understand how many are writing. Please write. Please write. Completed? Okay. Now, class B. Task. Task. I want to give you a task. Now, guys, if you are giving the correct output for this program, you are perfect in constructors concept. Go ahead. Do you want to give, do you want to write the program right now or tomorrow? Tomorrow? Okay. Tomorrow. Now or tomorrow? Go ahead. Please. Go ahead, please. Please. Use shortcuts. Make sure you're writing, please. And guys, you already know tomorrow's class is actually very, very important. So a small request from my end is before coming to tomorrow's class, kindly please revise all our previous concepts and then come so that tomorrow's class will be very, very easy for you. From first complete writing the program, whenever that concept comes, then ask the question. If your question is not related to the topic, then please ask me that question in the Instagram. Up to here complete for everyone? No. Up to line number 15 complete for everyone? Take this as a homework. Take this task as a homework. Cut the call, go out, speak, and come back. Have some respect to the class. If it's an important call, go out, speak, and come back. No problem. That's the code. That's the complete code. Use shortcuts. First write. Completed? First write. If you are discussing, you are going to be late. First write. So